I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for Forbes here to see, one, where the spawns are, and two, if he decides to open air or decides to open somewhat of a gateway opening. But again, this is Wednesday Night StarCraft. We have vVv taking on Binary Gaming, formerly known as oGd. vVv Gaming is up 3-1 with Titan. Could actually pull an all kill here and end the game, but we're just going to have to see.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to wait and see what's going to happen here, as it is going to be close air spawns, as you mentioned. Forbes spawning as the purple Protoss player at the 6 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have Titan spawning as the red Zerg at the 9 o'clock position. Zerg versus Protoss. We're going to see Titan fly this Overlord across this little ravine here in just a moment. And then both players will know exactly what to expect. And I'm curious as to whether or not Titan will be able to get into a truly macro style of game. It looks like Titan has been very cold and a calculating player, not engaging unless he really thought that he had a good shot. He's not just trying to trade units. Every engagement, every attack really had a purpose so far, and I think it's working out very well for him, as Forbes sets up a front door pylon. Most likely will have a gateway and a cybernetics core thrown down as well. Add that zealot in there as a probe now makes its way around the scout.
Yeah, definitely not going to try the Forge Fast Expand on here because, there's relatively no choke to hold off. So, but Titan, like I said, they do, or like I was talking about, there are close air positions now. So, any air-based play can be pretty harsh on this map for Titan to deal with, as the distances between the bases are so close by air. And also the third, if Titan decides to get it early, can be hard to hold off. But again, we're just gonna have to wait and see here. There is no gas yet for Forbes. Okay, there he goes. He's getting a 15 gas, so kind of a later gas for Protoss, about a supplier so later. But this probe going to be here being annoying. Titan opening up the standard as he has the last, the last game anyway. I forgot he opened the temp pool that one game, but he is getting his gas first, followed by his pool. So Titan really favors this getting wings out before his expansion. Really just wants to play safe, make sure there's no sort of proxies or anything that could kind of hurt him early game. We do have the cybernetics core being thrown down. So also a pretty standard opening from Protoss.
Yeah, Forbes also now getting that second assimilator at about the same time he got that cybernetics core. So we may see a Stargate. Titan now flying back over. He does see the second assimilator, and normally at this stage it would indicate, or as a Zerg player in his shoes, I would say train up additional queens. Queens, the defensive unit, good against the Phoenixes, good against the Void Rays, and as long as you have 1 to 2 spore crawlers and then a queen at a hatchery, you should be able to minimize the amount of damage unless your opponent over invests into the attack. But there is also a lot of energy, interestingly enough, saved up on the Nexus. We'll see if he continues to chrono boost out probes, or if perhaps he's going to try to chrono boost out the cybernetics core and get that warp gate tech even faster.
Yeah, again, not trying to get a fast expansion here. He did get a second gas at 18 food, so quicker, I would say, second gas. I'm sure I'll be PM'd by a bunch of Protoss players if I'm wrong, which, wouldn't be the first time. But we do have another gateway going down, and Titan's expansion is started. So I feel like that Forbes either really wants to play safe. I think he's just going to bank on getting a lot of sentries before he decides to move down his ramp here. Titan, as you can see with the Zergling, he's being very, very diligent in scouting for probes or pylons or anything of the sort to mess him up, which is very smart. Players need to be very attentive with their early game scouting, especially against a Protoss who can lay down pylons, because it's going to be very annoying come later in the game. But Titan actually does have a lot of links here. I don't know what he plans to accomplish. I think he might have thought that the Protoss should have expanded by now, and he actually is going to deny this and actually might set back. This could be a mistake if Forbes decides to come down the ramp, which he's being very smart. He's sending his zealot first, and he's not sending his probe or his sentries to follow, which is what he needs to do, because if those get caught in the open, it's going to be very hard to recover. But now here come all these Zerglings coming in here, and one force field goes off, and actually he's going to maybe lose one of these, and he's not casting any more force fields, and actually lets Titan kind of get in his base. Titan's going to get a free scout in here. Doesn't really see anything, but actually losing a lot of links at the front, not really paying attention. Oh, and actually a very, bad force field blocks his sentries in, and Titan is going to force a cancel on that expansion.
Yeah, so nicely done there, forcing the cancel, and now the Zerglings are just holding position, not quite sure what they're doing there. It looks like they're finally running away, but I was really concerned about Titan. Titan had invested a lot of larva, a lot of minerals into those Zerglings, and it didn't look like he was going to be able to do a lot of damage with them, but he was able to force the Nexus to cancel. It is going to hurt Forbes in the long run, as he already has his hatchery up. He has a queen over there ready to take care of it, and I believe around this time Titan may attempt to throw down another hatchery at the high mineral ground location at the 10 o'clock, and then perhaps just be able to macro off of 3 bases and perhaps start punishing his opponent by just because he delayed and canceled the Nexus.
Yeah, again, I'm sure Forbes was kicking himself in the butt when he made that force field. Can't really blame him. The Zerglings, that his original force field was about ready to run out, and the Zerglings were knocking at the door. But I think just kind of a panicked force field just blocked all his sentries in and was able to let Titan cancel that Nexus. So again, like you were saying, his second base is going to be delayed here. No other tech besides these gateways, so I keep forgetting his name. Forbes is not going to show his hand here, whether he's going to go into, you know, say Blink Stalker kind of play, or if he's going to go into Stargate kind of play, or if he's actually going to go into Robo tech here. But Titan, again, being very diligent, actually does not take his third base. I would have thought he would have taken his third base right now, but does get a second evolution chamber. Baneling Nest is done. So I'm actually very interested to see what Titan is doing. He does only have one actually now just taking off his drone on his third gas, so only mining from 2 geysers right now.
Yeah, I'm rather curious as to what Titan's going for. He is behind in food, not by much. 8 food. He also has a lot of spine crawlers here. So with 4 spine crawlers on the front door, he expects a very large attack to be coming in, and it does look like it will be coming in. That is a fair amount of sentries. What is that, 8 sentries as a proxy pylon's trying to be set up, but nothing like creep to help prevent that from being able to warp in. And now there is the force field on the low ground. A queen is already ready. Banelings are running around in the back as well. And it looks like a couple of spine crawlers over here on the high ramp would have been very effective, and we'll see what's going to go down. I think Forbes has the larger overall resource army, but not going to be able to do very much about it.
No, absolutely not. With these 4 spine crawlers here and these banelings, with an army that's mainly sentry and zealot, very key force fields would have been made, and actually he lost 2 zealots for free, pretty much. Let the spine crawlers take care of that. Focused on the evolution chamber a little bit, but I agree with Forbes' decision to back off. Yeah, he does have the bigger army, but the static defense and positioning by Titan spine crawlers and his army as well as his Evo chamber would make pretty much any attack not really that beneficial for him. So he is going to pull back here. And we have a Twilight Council and 2 more gateways on the way. So this will make, if I'm counting correctly, this will make 6 gateways total here. He does have no upgrades started. His forge is still sitting there idle, and he is chrono boosting out Blink right now. Pro production is still going on. And Titan actually is getting his 3rd base right now. He does have +1 melee on the way. He does have a Roach Warden almost finished, along with a 3rd Evo chamber, if I'm reading this right. So might be trying to go for all upgrades at once here. Armor as well as melee and ranged attack.
Yeah, so that's going to be very interesting. You can see Evolution Chamber. I'm looking for, yeah, there is 3 currently in play. And you can also see that we're going to see some Baneling carpet bombing. There's one on the backside of the base right now, hanging out over here at what I'll call the 8 o'clock position. Some on the front door as well. And with such a large sentry army, those Banelings are going to have a very, very good time just destroying a bunch of those very expensive sentries and zealots. It looks as though the timing on this is going to have to be absolutely perfect. The Overlord now positioning themselves. Front door also testing the waters as well. Zerglings are now trying to come in. Force fields do come into play. Baneling carpet bombing on both sides, the main base and the natural expansion. And there goes the Banelings. There goes 1. There goes 2. And a lot of workers were destroyed. 21 workers killed as the Overlords now back off.
Very nice by Titan. That Overlord did go into the main and did drop all 4 Banelings. He didn't really micro them at all, so they didn't get as many kills as he would have hoped, but he definitely got a lot. So definitely not bad, and he did leave with all of his Overlords, or most of them, intact, so he still has that supply. And so Titan, and now we actually have DTs on the way, and now they are doing a big whoop around to the third base, so it will be interesting to see if Titan's going to be able to hold that off. He does have a lair up, so he is going to be able to get an Overseer out. But yeah, now Titan still up in 10 workers. I don't think that attacked is completely as much damage as Titan would have liked it to. As you can see, a lot of the sentries are still alive, unfortunately, for Titan. But Forbes, obviously happy about that. The Forge is still... Oh, actually, +1 was research while I was looking. So he does have 1-1 here. Titan, not making use of all of his Evo chambers, only has one upgrade right now, and that is armor. And now these two DTs have made it. They killed a few drones and are now leaving. We look 3 drones total killed, so definitely not cost efficient for him, but it looks like he is going to be Forbes is going to secure his third base here.
Yeah, so it looks like, yes, we'll secure the third base. A pylon already coming in. Then just the probe has to wait for all of that creep to slowly recede. And as soon as that does recede, a Nexus most likely will be coming in over there. You can see Overlords, 5 Overlords, 3 of them are currently holding Banelings. I would personally like to see the Banelings split a little bit more between those Overlords, being able to make sure that they all unload before the Overlord perhaps pops. Roaches and Zerglings are now once again on the move, trying to find those Dark Templars. There is also an hallucinated Phoenix out now. Going to be revealed as an hallucination in just a moment, as also a hatchery going to come in. So a battle may be ensuing, and I can't tell if there's actually Dark Templars in the main base or if that's creep from Titan. Always annoying when a Protoss player uses purple against a Zerg.
Yeah, it really is hard to see on the mini-map whether or not it's creep or weapons or units moving across. But Titan, like you said, does have these Overlords here full of Banelings along with the Roach and Wing Army here. It looks like they're going to swing around. Looks like there's going to be attack at the third, and Titan not bringing his Overlords with this Banelings field. I don't know if he's going to try to drop in the main or what he's going to do here. But Baneling speed is not started, so they still are slow wings, and Titan knocking on the door. He is actually beelining right for the main with these Overlords, but a nice blink up. He might actually lose one. Oh, and he might actually lose another Overlord. Oh, and a nice Baneling drop there does kill it. Oh, and this last Overlord. Oh, and the probes are stuck in a very nice Baneling drop. Wow, if you look at the workers count, exactly half the worker supply for Protoss now, 34 to 68. So wow, I think those Baneling drops went a lot better than I expected them to. I thought that the Blink Stalkers would have came up and got the probes, but he pulled the probes towards the entrance, which was a very odd choice because the Banelings were right there, and then he trapped his own probes down at its natural by blocking them in between the mineral patches and his own units. So very successful, but the third was not broken, but Titan didn't lose his units, and now we have a massive counterattack coming in from Forbes.
Yeah, right now the Stalkers are going to try to push in over here. There is an Archon in the group as well. Stalkers are blinking in. Drones are being transferred. Fungal growth has been placed down across a couple of units. It looks like another fungal growth may be able to come in as well, but Infestors are getting destroyed. He's not able to save them nearly as much, but the Roaches are doing a nice push back, and all of those Stalkers have been destroyed. And there is the GG by Forbes. Titan coming in with the reverse all kill after vVv Rough loses game 1.